What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and this was one I did not expect. But news is broken that there is a new allegation now about Jamie Foxx. So we're gonna go through it. I have the lawsuit already. Like the video as the intro plays, because we got a. It feels like it's gonna be a long night, y'all. It feels like it's gonna be a long night. Like the video as the intro plays, because we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Person I follow, what is it called? Make It Make Sense. There's a little guy, Make It Make Sense.
I make it make sense. Are you being nice tonight?
To quote a great media outlet, make that make sense. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Make It Make Sense.
Make it make sense. You knew what was up.
Big Mims. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Do you want to do this?
That is a man hand. That's a man hand. Hey, the pressure changed to y'all. Only a man knows what a man needs.
Okay, y'all. So I've been thinking about this, and maybe it's who I, source things through, but does it feel like this is a lot of Black men where everybody is coming out and, victims need to be heard, but I feel like it's not spread. But we're going to get into this because every victim has a right to be heard. But I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, we've gone through very big shot Black men, but I'm not seeing the Epsteins and the Weinsteins people coming forward. So y'all tell me, is that just me or what? Just asking before we get into this. So yes, I do have the full 15-page document. We're going to get into that. I've never heard anything like this involving Jamie Foxx. No rumblings of this kind of stuff. But I will say he did have some affiliations with Diddy. He was throwing parties, so we'll get into that. Like the video as the I'm not sorry. It has been a long day. I meant to say liking the video is a free way to support the channel. I got my water here. Right. Right. Ahova says whole timeline is assaults. But like I said, y'all know around here we have the reports. So here we go. Eric Marlon Bishop, which I didn't even know was Jamie Foxx's real name. They're also suing Catch NYC and Roof, the restaurant that they were at, Catch NYC Inc., Mark Birnenbaum, Catch Hospitality Group, 25th 9th Avenue Corp., LLC, CA 217 9th Avenue. So she's suing everybody. This is the summons. Here is the actual complaint. Plaintiff Jane Doe, by her attorneys, law offices of Michael and Lamonsoff, PLLC, and is for the verified complaint, alleges the following information and belief. That at all times relevant hereto, plaintiff Jane Doe was a resident of Kings County, state of New York. That upon information and belief, at all times relevant hereto, defendant Eric Marlon Bishop, a.k.a. Jamie Foxx, was still and is a resident of Ventura County, state of California. On or about August 26, 2015, defendant Eric Marlon Bishop, a.k.a. Jamie Foxx, was at a restaurant and rooftop lounge and bar located at 21st 9th Avenue, New York City, County and state of New York. That at all times relevant hereto, defendant Catch NYC and Roof was and still is a domestic corporation duly organized under and existing by virtue of the laws of the state of New York. That at all times relevant hereto, defendant Catch NYC and Roof was still and is a foreign corporation duly authorized to conduct business in New York City. They are not playing. They are coming after everybody. Let's see. Somebody said, I always had a feeling about Jamie. Yes, the government name. No, that's not what I'm doing at all. What I'm saying is I I don't believe that it's just black men. I feel like where are all the other headlines? That's what I'm saying. I am in no way saying that I do not believe victims. So, let's see. Tennessee, thanks for being a member for 14 months. White men, Alex Rose, Harvey Weinstein, Donald Trump, Jimmy Levine, Doug Morris, Russell Brand, and Marilyn Manson have been sued under this act. But I'm just saying at the deadline marker, right? I knew it was going to be a long week for me, right? Because, victims were only given a year. So this is basically the deadline. They have until Friday. So I knew it was going to be a long week. I just am not seeing major headlines of major celebrities of other races. That's what I was saying. Is this new? Yes, this is breaking, brand new. This was just filed. Let's see, file date. 11/22/2023. So this was today. Okay. Let's see. That all times relevant here to defendant Catch NYC was duly authorized to transact business in the state of New York. That at all times relevant here to defendant Catch NYC and Roof owned, operated, maintained, managed, and controlled the restaurant and rooftop lounge. That at all times relevant here to defendant Catch NYC was under the duty to own, operate, maintain, manage, and control the aforesaid premises in a proper, safe, and lawful manner. That at all times relevant here too, defendant Catch NYC was and is still a domestic corporation duly organized under and existing by virtue of laws of the state of New York. That at all times relevant here too, Catch NYC was still in a foreign corporation duly authorized to conduct business in New York. That at all times relevant here too, defendant Catch NYC was duly authorized to transact business in the state of New York. That at all times relevant here too, defendant Catch NYC owned, operated, maintained, managed, and controlled a restaurant and rooftop lounge and bar located. Let me get the location. Whew, I need some water, y'all. Chanel says, when I Google his name, nothing nefarious comes up. Jamie, the only thing that we've heard recently was the mysterious illness. I've never heard anybody make any accusations like this about him. Doesn't mean that there's not validity to it. I'm just saying, when you juxtapose the Diddy situation, Jamie Foxx just does not have a lot of claims against him like this. That at all times relevant here too, defendant Catch NYC was under a duty to own, operate, maintain, manage, and control the aforesaid premises in a proper, safe, lawful manner. That upon information and belief at all times relevant here too, defendant Mark Birnbaum, aka Jamie Foxx, was and still is a resident of city, county, and state of New York. That at all times relevant here too, defendant Mark Burnham owned, operated, maintained, managed, and controlled the restaurant and rooftop lounge, bar, and located in New York. That at all times relevant here too, defendant Mark Burnham owned, operated, maintained, and controlled Catch Hospitality Group. She is going after all of them. Every entity associated with Catch NYC. And we're going to get into why, because I've already read this. We're going to get into why she's suing them specifically and why she felt like the business failed her. Star, you said it, not me. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. That at all times relevant here too, defendant 25 9th Avenue Corp was under a duty to own, operate, maintain, manage, and control the aforesaid premises in a proper and safe, lawful manner. These are all Catch 22's companies. So we're going to move into the statement of facts. That at all times, defendants John, Jane Doe's 1 through 10 are fictitious names intended to be the currently unknown security guards, employees, independent contractors, and or agents of the defendants who were present and working at the aforesaid premises on and about August 26, 2015. So, statement of facts. This matter is filed timely as it is brought pursuant to the Adult Survivors Act. Notwithstanding any provision of law which imposes a period of limitation to the contrary and the provisions of any other law pertaining to the filing of a notice of claim or a notice of intention to file a claim as a condition precedent to commencement of an action or special proceeding. Every civil claim or cause of action brought against any party alleging intentional or negligent acts or omissions by a person for physical, psychological, or other injury or condition suffered as a result of conduct which would constitute a offense as defined in Article 130 of the Penal Law, committed against such person who was 18 years of age or older, or we can't say that, as defined in the section. Law committed against such a person who was 18 years or older, which is barred as of the effective dates of this section because the applicable period of limitation has expired, and or the claim is hereby revived, and action thereon may be commenced not earlier than 6 months after, and not later than 1 year and 6 months after the effective date of this section. In any such claim or action, dismissal of a previous action ordered before the effective date of this section on grounds that such previous action was time barred. Okay, here we go. We're getting into it, guys. The defendant's actions described herein all occurred when plaintiff was over the age of 18 and brought within the same time frame of the Adult Survivors Act. On or about August 26, 2015, at approximately 11 p.m., plaintiff and a friend arrived at 21 9th Avenue for the purpose of getting seats at the rooftop lounge and bar. Upon being seated, plaintiff noticed that the defendant, Mark Burnham, was seated one table away having drinks with defendant Eric Marling Bishop, aka Jamie Foxx. Hereinafter, Birnbaum and Foxx. Not long after being seated, plaintiff and her friend observed a large crowd growing around defendants Birnbaum and Fox's table. As a result, defendants John Jane Doe's 1 through 10 began moving the crowd of patrons away, including nearly all of the patrons seated at the tables near Birnbaum and Foxx. Despite them being the only two remaining in the area, plaintiff and her friend were never asked to move from their table located beside Birnbaum and Fox's table. At some point, nearly approximately 1 a.m. on August 27, 2015, after many patrons had left the area, plaintiff's friend stood up from the table, walked over to the defendant Foxx, and asked if he would take a picture with her and plaintiff. Foxx stated, "Sure, baby, anything for you," and walked to plaintiff's table. Several photographs were taken. Yeah, right. I see you guys in the chat. Hey, Cotty, we have 1,100 people watching. Please hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel, and it lets YouTube know that we're here. We only have like around 200 likes, so definitely hit that like button. Foxx then made several comments to plaintiff, including, "Wow, you have a supermodel body. You smell so good, and you look like Nikki." When plaintiff asked who's Nikki, Foxx replied, "Gabrielle Union." Now, Gabrielle Union is somewhere minding her business, thinking,
So now why am I in it? And you could have did it. See, I did it because you never apologized.
Foxx proceeded to grab plaintiff by her arm and pulled her to the back area of the rooftop. Once in a more secluded area, Foxx placed both of his hands on plaintiff's waist, moved them under plaintiff's crop top, and began rubbing her chest. Plaintiff was caught off guard and attempted to step away from Foxx. Plaintiff noticed defendant John Doe, a security guard of one of the defendants some distance away, who saw what was happening but walked further away. Foxx proceeded to slide his hands into plaintiff's pants and put his fingers on the plaintiff's the front door and the back door, y'all. There's certain things that, YouTube doesn't like me to say, so I don't. But he put his hands in both the front and the back door. As this was happening, plaintiff's friend walked over looking for plaintiff. Foxx stopped touching plaintiff and walked over to where defendant John Doe, a security guard, was standing. That no negligence or intentional acts on the part of the plaintiff caused or contributed to the said heinous touching and sexual assault of plaintiff. That by reason of foregoing, plaintiff was injured, was rendered sick, sore, lame, and disabled, was caused to undergo medical treatment and advice, was unable to pursue her usual and regular activities, was caused to undergo great conscious pain and suffering, continues to undergo such, and will permanently be affected by the injuries and emotional distress she incurred as a result of the assault, abuse, assault, and battery. that as a result of the heinous acts, negligence, and gross negligence of the defendants as foresaid, plaintiff suffered and continues to suffer severe emotional distress and anxiety, humiliation, embarrassment, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other physical and emotional damages. Plaintiff is entitled to recover damages from defendants in the amount that exceeds the monetary limit of all lower courts that would have jurisdiction over this matter, plus punitive damages. This cause of action falls within one or more of the examples set forth. First cause of action, assault and battery. Plaintiff repeats and realleges the allegations of paragraphs 1 through 47 as the same or more fully set forth herein. That on the night of August 26, 2015, and into the early morning hours of August 27, 2015, and at all times herein mentioned, defendant Foxx, operating through his position as a well-known celebrity, committed the heinous acts set forth above. These unlawful actions constitute a assault and battery upon plaintiff, as Foxx intentionally and without consent used force to offensively touch plaintiff's person. Foxx's actions violated the penal law. Y'all, we got a super chat. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple. Collectively, I like the way you did that. Literally, how I've been staring at my phone the past couple days. Now we have Jamie Foxx and also Jimmy Levine. Thanks for keeping up with these stories. It's been rough. It's been rough. Jamie Foxx came completely unexpected, but I told you guys that as we neared the deadline, I would definitely keep you guys abreast of what was going on. So thank you for the super chat. Thank you for choosing to spend time with me as well. Let's see. Fox's actions were willful, wanton, and malicious. At all times described herein, Foxx consciously disregarded plaintiff's rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his conduct would cause plaintiff to feel violated, humiliated, would cause emotional and mental injuries to plaintiff, and would result in her enduring pain and suffering. As a result, Fox's conduct described herein, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer physical and emotional injuries, anxiety, distress, embarrassment, and economic harm. Plaintiff's claiming and is entitled to recover all applicable damages, including but not limited to damages for pain and suffering, economic loss, as well as punitive damages in the amount that exceeds the jurisdiction of all lower courts. Second cause of action, negligent hiring, training, and supervision. So I guess this is for the actual restaurant. Let's see. I see you guys are going in the chat. Deidre Matthews, thank you so much for the super chat. I be clicking the names, nothing happens. Creative Ambitions, did you send me a Cash App earlier? If so, thank you so much. I did receive it. If that was you, thank you so much. What's up? I see you guys in here. Oh, wait, hold on. Mims is pronounced like Iveen. Okay, all right, Jimmy Iveen. Thanks. Y'all know I will butcher a name, but I try to keep it straight. I really do, y'all. Okay. Plaintiff repeats and realleges the allegations of paragraph 1 through 52 as they were fully set forth therein. Catch NYC, Mark Birnbaum, Catch Hospitality Group, through their owners, managers, supervisors, officers, directors, agents, and our employees were negligent in hiring, training, lack of supervision, management, control, and retention of their employees, and more specifically of defendants, John, Jane Does 1 through 10, who were working on the night of August 26th, into the early morning hours of August 25th. We're not going to read through all the names again. We'll just say Catch NYC and Roof. Through their owners, managers, supervisors, officers, directors, agents, and our employees were under a duty to exercise reasonable care for their patrons, including plaintiff, as to prevent the intentional heinous acts that Foxx inflicted on the plaintiff. So she said that once they got through the crowds, because a crowd had formed around Jamie Foxx, they left just these two women and Jamie Foxx and his bodyguard at the table next to her. At some point or another, she alleges that Jamie assaulted her, but she's wondering why there was nobody around. And if his bodyguard saw that she was saying no and walked away, I wonder if that makes him a witness or an employee of Jamie. I'll have to get into that with one of my attorney friends. I wonder if New York has the Good Samaritan law. There's so many things here, but just because you're a celebrity does not mean that you have carte blanche to do whatever you want to whomever. And I feel like so many celebrities act as if they can do what they want because they have money or they have clout or they have power. You know, money does give you power. And the power dynamics play a large role in why a lot of, victims do not come forward. So I guarantee you guys, we're going to see a lot more of this. Simply Key, thank you so much. Oh my God, Mims, you are doing the Lord's work. This is a lot. This is a whole lot. Thank you so much for the super chat. We have almost 1,700 people in the building. Please hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel. So the defendants Catch NYC, through their owners, managers, supervisors, officers, directors, agents, and our employees, had knowledge of Foxx's propensities for aggressive behavior towards females. Now that, I know we read that earlier today when we were discussing Harvey, who is Bad Boy Presidents. They used the same language. Had knowledge of the propensities for aggressive behavior towards females. Does that apply to Jamie Foxx? I don't know that I can recall people coming forward with these type of claims against him, but you guys let me know in the chat or replay gang. I do read the comments. I don't know if that part applies to Foxx, but the lawyer put that in there. It says agents or employees had knowledge of Foxx's propensities for aggressive behavior towards females, the potential for unwanted touching, and his bad disposition when consuming excessive alcohol. I literally didn't know that, y'all. I didn't know that. The above defendants failed to properly train their staff, including defendants John Dane Doe's, how to properly observe and report and prevent the situation in which plaintiff found herself. How to observe when a patron such as Foxx has consumed an excessive amount of alcohol and should not be served anymore. Now, that's an important part because you're definitely liable if you overserve somebody and something happens. In otherwise ensuring the safety of their patrons from unwanted and abusive sexual touching. Catch NYC, through their owners, managers, supervisors, officers, directors, agents, and employees, including defendants John Doe, failed to use reasonable care to prevent the acts described herein. Catch NYC breached their duty of care to the plaintiff by failing to provide adequately for the protection of persons lawfully upon, within, and wherein the premises, and more particularly for the plaintiff herein. In failing to protect the plaintiff against injury caused by the conduct of their employees' agents, in failing to provide security, adequate security, and or proper security within the premises, although they knew or should have known of the dangers existing thereabouts, in failing to operate the premises in a reasonably safe manner in order to protect all persons lawfully upon their premises. I think that she's going to get a settlement. I definitely think she's going to get a settlement because they do not want this associated with their brand. Who does? Nobody does. But, if somebody saw and they just walked away, I think we've reached a point where we are no longer our brother's keepers. I think that people are quick to pull out a camera phone, and that is good in some situations because then there's evidence. But, wow. Let's see. In that they knowingly and intentionally placed the plaintiff in a dangerous situation in a position of peril, in that they caused, created, and or contributed to the dangerous conditions and situations existing on the premises at the time of this occurrence. In failing to supervise and or adequately supervise the activities of the employees, in violating these statutes, rules, regulations, and ordinances governing the management, security, and control of the premises held out to the plaintiff. Now, what's interesting is that they made sure that he was comfortable by moving away all the fans. But when they allegedly see a fan being groped and, assaulted, their backs are turned. The power of celebrity, y'all, the power of money. And in failing to exercise care, caution, and judgment required of the defendants under all their circumstances that existed at the time of the occurrences and earlier. The defendants and their agents, servants, and employees were otherwise careless, reckless, and negligent under the circumstances then and there existing. As a result of these actions and actions, catch NYC, as described here, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer physical and emotional injuries, anxiety, distress, embarrassment, and economic harm. Plaintiff is claiming and is entitled to recover all applicable damages, including but not limited to damages for pain, suffering, economic loss, as well as punitive damages in the amount that exceeds the jurisdiction of the lower courts. Let's see. Third cause of action. Plaintiff repeats and realleges the allegations in paragraphs 1 through 61 as the same were set forth at length herein. The unlawful conduct of defendant Foxx, as described herein, including but not limited to Foxx's physical and assault of plaintiff in New York City, constitutes a crime of violence and a crime of violence motivated by gender against plaintiff as defined by the New York, and we get the code. The unlawful conduct of defendant Foxx, as described herein, including but not limited to Foxx's physical and assault of plaintiff in New York City, constitutes a crime of violence and a crime of violence motivated by gender against plaintiff as defined in, and we get the code. The term crime of violence means an act or series of acts that would constitute a misdemeanor or felony against the person as defined in the state or federal law, or that would constitute a misdemeanor or felony against property as defined in the state or federal law if the conduct presents a serious risk of physical injury to another, whether or not those acts have actually resulted in criminal charges, prosecution, or conviction. The term crime of violence motivated by gender means a crime of violence committed because of gender or in the basis of gender and due at least in part to an animus based of the victim's gender. Catch NYC, commission of the crime of violence motivated by gender and therefore also liable. Like people, you have to do better. If you're a business owner, you can't just cater to celebrities. You cannot just cater to celebrities. Although they bring you notoriety, this is the kind of stuff that, what's up, Reddit Lane, newest YouTube sensation, and my sister. I can imagine there are some men shaking in their boots until Thursday at midnight. Exactly. Friday, right? It's the 24th, right? So Friday. They have till Friday. But thanks for being here. Whew. As a direct and proximate result of the aforementioned crime of violence and gender-motivated violence, plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress, entitling her to an award of compensatory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney's fees and costs, and other remedies that the court may deem appropriate damages as set. The law conduct of defendant Foxx, as described herein, constitutes a sexual offense as defined in Article 130. Pursuant, this cause of action is timely because it's commenced within 2 years and 6 months after September 1st, 2022. As a result of the actions and inactions of all defendants as described herein, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer physical and emotional injuries, anxiety, distress, embarrassment, and economic harm. Plaintiff is claiming and is entitled to recover all applicable damages, including but not limited to damages for pain, suffering, economic loss, as well as punitive damages in an amount that exceeds the jurisdiction of all lower courts. She's not playing, y'all. And as always, I'm glad that victims are choosing to come forward. And I'm glad that people are supporting them. I do know that there is some victim blaming that has gone on recently, and there will always be that. But I think that we can kind of take some solace in knowing that people are coming around. And, in some states, if you were in a relation, like you were in a husband-wife relationship and your husband were to, want to have intercourse and you did not want to, if you said no and your husband did it, you couldn't file charges. So we are definitely making strides in that. We are now saying victims come forward. And once you hear no once, that means no. Anything after that is an assault, and people need to know that. And no amount of celebrity, no amount of money can make up for you being assaulted. And that's male or female. Let's see. Yes, extend the deadline to December 31st. I don't know if they're going to do that. Blame it on the act. Oh, man, Kel Green. No, you didn't. I'm not. pull it together. Y'all know I'm a journalist. Just kidding. This has been a lot. I guarantee you, I'm going to be doing one for one of the Housewives of Beverly Hills tomorrow morning. I did not expect Jamie Foxx to be on our docket, but nobody is above a victim coming forward and speaking what their truth is. Now, everybody does deserve their day in court. I will say that. We will see if some of these, because we know Diddy settled really quickly, but a lot of these other people have not settled. L.A. Reid, which I did read his whole, I think his was 28 pages with Drew Dixon. The guy from Bad Boy, the president of Bad Boy, Harvey. I read his. I think his was like 14 pages. He's not settled as of yet, but these people are just filing. So as this continues to happen, we're going to be going, live to discuss it. It's not Mauricio. It's a new housewife. It's a new housewife's husband. So I will be getting that probably, tomorrow morning. And I told you guys, I'm going to keep you abreast as these things happen. Again, Jamie Foxx was not one that I expected. So maybe we will definitely do maybe a panel discussion on it. But guys, this has been like 3 videos today. So if you haven't caught those, catch those. We've been doing deep dives on Diddy, Cassie, but your boy needs to take a break because this subject matter it's a lot. Thank you, Simply Key. Jamie knew this would come out, hence the attempt. Nobody else's, other than Diddy's, nobody else's lawyers have come out and said anything. Everything is like mom's the word. So Diddy's was settled very quickly. I had an attorney come on, a hotshot attorney from New York, kind of go over the details of the case and why he felt it was settled. Nobody else is saying anything. So it's going to be a crazy couple days. And then we got Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys are going to be with your family, eating really, really well. And I'm going to see you for hopefully for something different other than somebody getting exposed. But have a good one. Make sure to like the video on the way out. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I keep you guys. Who has Foxy number? Oh, man. Foxy would tell her tale. Foxy would definitely tell her tale. But anyway, I'm going to see you guys later. Thank you for the super chat, Virgin Love 8. I got to go. Bye, y'all.